You know that moment when someone thinks you'll chase them no matter how hard they spit on your heart? The moment they brag about late-night friends, hidden messages, and secret smiles. She thought I'd break, cry, beg. She wanted drama. She wanted to watch me hurt. Instead, something inside of me snapped in the quietest way. I stopped caring about her games. I stopped fighting for someone who treated my loyalty like a joke. So when she leaned in, smirked, and asked if I was jealous, I didn't raise my voice, I didn't plead. I looked her straight in the eyes and let the truth fall like a stone. I said I was done. But before I tell you what happened that day, don't forget to subscribe, hit like, and share your thoughts in the comments. After I said I was done, the room fell silent. No shouting, no slammed doors, only her fake smile slipping away. For months, my nights felt like endless storms, half-truths, whispers, late calls she always stepped outside to take. She said I was paranoid. She said I was insecure. She said I was the problem. But I kept every broken piece of myself together because I loved her. I held on while she drifted further away. And still, she wanted more. More lies. More attention from someone else. I stood there, my heart tired, my voice steady. She blinked fast, like she didn't hear me right. "You're joking," she said. "Stop being dramatic." "No," I told her. "I'm finished." The words didn't shake. They didn't tremble. They felt solid for the first time in months. Narration filled most of the space between us. My thoughts were loud. I remembered every night I waited awake for her to come home. Every excuse. Every time she rolled her eyes when I asked who she was texting. She promised loyalty, while her phone face down buzzed under pillows. She accused me of being controlling when all I asked for was truth. She crossed her arms. "So you think leaving will fix your ego?" "My ego died the first night you lied to me," I said. Her jaw clenched. She didn't expect that. She tried to laugh it off. "You're being ridiculous." I stepped back, calmer than I ever felt with her. "No, I'm being honest." That hit harder than shouting ever could. Inside my chest, pain moved, but it wasn't sharp anymore. It felt like release. I realized I was done being the backup plan, done being the emotional punching bag, done sleeping next to a stranger who treated loyalty like something cheap. She stepped closer, voice lower this time. "So what? You think someone better will love you like I did?" "I don't want someone who loves me like you did," I said. For a second, I saw fear in her eyes. Not sadness, fear. Because she never thought I would leave. She thought I would stay no matter how many times she flirted with danger, or how many times she said, "You're jealous for no reason." But she was wrong. She tried one last trick. Soft voice, sweet face. "You're overthinking." "I didn't do anything." "My heart knew before my mind did," I said. "Your stories never matched your actions." Her silence answered more than her lies ever did. I picked up the small bag I packed when she wasn't looking. Just a few clothes, my wallet, my keys. I didn't need revenge. I didn't need to make her understand. I only needed the door. She grabbed my hand. "You're not going anywhere." I pulled away. "I already left." "You just didn't notice." I walked toward the exit, each step steady, mind clear. I didn't know where I would sleep or how tomorrow would feel. But the worst pain was behind me. I wasn't scared anymore. She could keep her secrets. She could keep her late-night calls. I was taking back my heart. Just before I reached the door, I heard her whisper, "You won't make it without me." I didn't turn around. "Watch me." And then, the door opened. After the door opened, the night air hit my face. Cold. Quiet. Honest. I stepped outside, and for the first time in months, there was no weight pressing on my chest. No waiting for her to come home. No checking a silent phone. No pretending everything was fine. I walked down the street with my small bag, the glow of streetlights stretching across the sidewalk. My hands shook a little, not from fear, but from release. I kept thinking about the last year, how slowly things fell apart. Not with one big betrayal, but with small cuts, one after another. Little lies that grew into bigger ones. Missing pieces of her story. New perfume. Secret smiles at her phone. People always say, leaving hurts the worst. But staying hurt more. My phone buzzed. I didn't have to check to know who it was. I ignored it and kept walking. My mind was louder than the quiet night. She used to look at me like I was enough, like I mattered. Then something changed. She started going out without a reason. She started locking her phone. She started accusing me of things she was doing herself. At first I blamed myself. Maybe I wasn't giving her attention. Maybe I wasn't fun anymore. But real love doesn't need constant proof. It doesn't need secret passwords or lies disguised as privacy. I reached a small park and sat on a bench. The air smelled like rain was coming. A few cars passed in the distance. Everything felt still. I pulled out my phone and finally checked the notifications. 6 missed calls. 4 texts. The last message read, "If you leave, don't expect to come back." A year ago, that would have scared me. Tonight, it sounded like freedom. I scrolled through old photos of us. Smiles, vacations, birthday dinners, pictures of moments that looked perfect but felt cold behind the scenes. Those images didn't hurt. They felt like memories from someone else's life. A life I didn't want anymore. A car slowed in front of the park. Headlights swept across me, and for a second, I thought it was her. But the car kept going. I sighed, leaned back, and stared up at the sky. No stars. Clouds covered everything. Rough night? The voice came from behind the bench. I turned and saw an older man walking his dog. His face was tired but kind. He waited for me to answer, not in a pushy way, just curious. "You could say that," I said. "People break people," he said. "But people also heal people." "Trust me," I nodded. He smiled once, then continued walking. His dog sniffed the grass, tail wagging. After they left, I sat there alone again. But the bench didn't feel as heavy. Maybe healing starts small. With breathing. With silence. With space. My phone buzzed again. Another message. "You're throwing everything away." I typed back, "No, I'm saving myself." I put the phone away. I didn't need a fight. I didn't need closure from her. The truth was already clear. She cared more about winning than loving. More about attention than loyalty. I stood up and started walking again. I thought about my brother's place. He would open the door, even if it was 2 a.m. He warned me about her months ago. I didn't listen. Love makes you blind until one day your eyes open and you wonder why you stayed so long. As I headed toward the main road, headlights appeared again. A car pulled up beside me. This time I recognized her voice. "Get in. We need to talk." I kept walking. "No." I said what I needed to say. The window rolled down more. "Don't be stubborn. We can fix this." "We never broke because of me," I said. "We broke because you found someone else." Her voice rose. "You don't know anything about him." I stopped walking and looked at her. I shouldn't have to know. I should have been enough. She didn't answer. I took a step back. "Go home. You owe me a conversation," she snapped. "I don't owe you anything," I said. "You had chances. You chose lies." Her face twisted. Anger, panic, fear. "You're ruining everything." I shook my head. "You ruined it the first night you sneaked out at midnight and told me I was crazy for asking why." She went silent. Her fingers gripped the steering wheel. "Goodbye," I said. I turned and walked toward the bus stop. The bus arrived in 2 minutes, like the universe decided to help me leave faster. I got on and sat near the window. She stayed in her car, watching as the bus pulled away. I expected to feel empty, but instead I felt light. I had no plan, no house, no certainty, but I had myself back. As the bus moved through the city, streetlights streaked past the windows. My phone buzzed one last time. This time the message didn't come from her. It came from someone I hadn't talked to in years, my college friend Emma. "You all right? Heard you left. If you need a place for the night, my couch is open." I stared at the message. Warmth spread in my chest. Real friends show up without asking for anything. I texted back, Thank you. I'm on my way. The bus turned left, heading toward her side of town. For the first time tonight, I felt safe. I leaned back, closed my eyes, and breathed. The worst part of the story was over. The next part was unknown, but at least it was mine. After the bus ride ended, I walked a few blocks to Emma's building. The hallway light flickered, and the smell of old paint filled the air. When I knocked, the door opened right away. Emma stood there in sweatpants and a loose t-shirt, her hair pulled back, no judgment in her eyes. "You look tired," she said. "I am," I answered. She stepped aside. "Come in." Her apartment was small but warm. A lamp glowed in the corner, and a blanket was already folded on the couch. She didn't flood me with questions. She didn't push for details. She handed me a glass of water and sat across from me. "You don't have to talk tonight," she said. "Sleep first," I nodded. Silence felt safe here. I set my bag on the floor and sat on the couch. The fabric felt softer than anything I slept on in months. Emma stood, turned toward her bedroom, then paused. "By the way, I'm proud of you," she said. "Leaving someone who hurts you takes strength." Her words landed deep. I didn't realize how much I needed to hear them until now. "Thank you," I said. She smiled and closed her door. The apartment went quiet. Outside, the dull noise of distant cars hummed through the night. I laid back and closed my eyes, exhaustion pulling me under. Morning came slow. Soft sunlight leaked through the blinds. I woke up feeling strange, lighter, but unsure of what came next. I sat up and rubbed my eyes. My phone was on the coffee table. No calls, no messages from her. The silence felt peaceful. Emma stepped out of her room with 2 mugs of coffee. "Good morning," she said. "Morning." She handed me a mug and sat on the arm of the chair across from me. "You ready to talk?" she asked. I nodded, so I told her everything. Every lie, every night of waiting. Every time my heart knew something was wrong, but I tried to believe her excuses. Emma didn't interrupt. She didn't tell me what I should have done. She listened. When I finished, she let out a breath. "She didn't love you," Emma said. "She loved attention." "I know," I said. "You deserved better." "I hope so." "You do." There was no pressure in her voice. No pity, only truth. My phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. "We need to talk. Meet me tonight." I showed Emma the screen. "I'm not going," I said. "Good," she replied. I put the phone face down. I didn't delete it, but I didn't answer either. Emma stood and grabbed her keys. "Come with me. You need breakfast." Real food. We walked to a small cafe 2 blocks away. Fresh bread, warm eggs, quiet music. After eating, the heaviness in my chest faded more. "You know," Emma said, wiping her hands, "leaving doesn't make you broken. It makes you brave." "I don't feel brave," I said. "Bravery doesn't feel strong. It feels like shaking hands and doing it anyway." We walked outside. Sunlight warmed the sidewalk. People moved around us, living lives I didn't care about yesterday. Today, I noticed everything. Back at her apartment, I called my brother. He answered on the second ring. "You all right?" he asked. "I will be," I said. "You can stay here. Mom already said the guest room is yours." I swallowed hard. "Thank you." "No need to thank us. We're family." Warmth filled my chest again. Real love isn't complicated. Before packing my bag again, I checked my phone one last time. A long message popped up. I can explain. "Talk to me. Don't throw everything away over misunderstandings," I replied with one sentence. "No, more lies." Then I blocked her. Number. Emma saw my phone screen fade to black. "Proud of you again?" she said. I grabbed my bag. "Time to go home." She hugged me before I left. "If you ever need a place, you know the door is open." Walking toward the bus stop felt different this time. No shaking hands, no fear. I didn't look over my shoulder. I didn't wonder what she was doing or who she was with. My story no longer revolved around her. At the station, I bought a ticket to my hometown. The ride was long, but every mile felt like a step toward healing. I stared out the window and let the past stay behind me. For the first time in a long time, I didn't feel alone. I felt free. When I arrived, my brother was waiting outside his car, smiling wide. He hugged me without saying a word. That hug felt like safety, like home. My mother waited inside the house with dinner already on the table. I didn't explain everything. I didn't need to. She hugged me and said, "You're safe here." That night, I slept in a clean bed, in a quiet room, surrounded by people who wanted me, not for attention, not for control, but because they loved me. I closed my eyes and breathed calm for the first time in months. The story ended where pain stopped and healing began. And if someone out there feels stuck, scared, or convinced they aren't enough, hear this. Leaving isn't losing. Leaving is freedom.